really only one God, and that is really conscious.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. Nothing.
It's Tuesday. Are you ready?
First, I'd like to say peace to the gods.
Welcome
To Truth Tuesday with your host, Akeem L.
He knows more than you can imagine.
the truth.
Well, the truth is, you got to get yourself together.
The truth.
The truth is, you got to get your mind right.
The truth.
The truth is, you got to get your paperwork in order. The truth is,
Hindsight Radio.
I'm listening, but are they listening?
Hindsight Radio.
What you talking about? Okay. What about Tuesday? Yo, Akeem, pick me up. Yo, turn that on, son.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you'll be able to listen to the show.
At last.
Hindsight Radio.
The truth is, it's Tuesday.
With your host, Akeem L. The truth.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio.
I represent it.
The information station changing the nation.
Peace, peace. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Truth Tuesday with your host, Akeem L, here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. I know y'all wanted to see some more of that video, but it is copyrighted, so I can only give you a brief portion of it. But if you were listening to the words, it showed how the Indigenous went against each other. But she said, my grandma said to her grandma, I'll set your flag on fire. See, that's how we lost our Indigenous status. We so busy fighting against each other. The settlers came in while we were fighting each other and took our land right from under our feet. Because we were so worn out from war that we didn't even have the strength to fight back. So we were forced into agreements to keep what little land we had left. And then we was forced to forget who we really are. So that's the topic of today. How did you become Negro, colored, and Black, African American? How did you become all of these things? And it wasn't because the government came in and they took it from you. No, your ancestors gave it away a lot of times. And some of your current leaders sold you out, started calling you African American, and you accepted that title. Why did you accept that title? Because you went to public school and they taught you this false narrative about your history and you believed it. So you didn't even have the enough information to even go against that, because all you were given was what they showed you in school. When I went to school, they said the Indians were savages and they was scalping people and they had to be taught civilization. Come to find out, I did shows way back when and showed y'all how the Great Law of Peace is the original constitution in this country's. Yes, the United States Constitution is written off of that document. Founding fathers couldn't get it together. So-called founding fathers couldn't get their act together, couldn't get the colonies in check. So they had to follow an example. And it was the indigenous people of that time, what we call a Native American Indians, and they had to show them the way because they were fighting amongst each other. In order to bring peace, they had to, write this document called the Great Law of Peace. And there was a man in there that helped them bring it, which is like identical. I think his name was Hiru. Oh, wasn't no, not Hiru. It was another name, but I can't remember exactly. But that story is almost identical to your Christ story. See, you've been lied to, and you're still being lied to. The sad part about it, it's easier for people to believe a lie than it is to believe the truth. But I'm going to show you today in a document that was put forth back in 2015, showing how they switched your identity. Yes, the pen is mightier than the sword. Yes, you were written out of history. You were rewritten in history as Black and African American and all this other crazy titles that people want to take on. What baffles me about a lot of people, they know that things like Tuskegee experiments went on through an effort for free healthcare, and it was really poisoning the people. And people still want to believe that the government is there for their benefit. It baffles me. That stuff is still going on. You think they stopped it? They just rename it. They call it something else. See, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, how in the last days, the children would have special abilities, and really what that scripture is talking about, a raising of to a higher consciousness. And I really believe that what's going on now is separating people who want to stay on this lower vibration of consciousness. It's separating those people. All of this stuff that's going on is a big symbolism, and it's proven who you really believe in. Because I can guarantee you don't believe in God if you go into the government for your saving. They can fix your problems. They coming out with these miracle whatever things. Oh, it's gonna stop this. It's gonna stop this. It's gonna, and then all of a sudden all new stuff coming up, and then they want to blame it on the people that's not doing a certain task without any real scientific evidence to back that up. All they do is say a scientist said this, or the science is saying that, but they're not showing you any real proof. Remember, I told y'all, if y'all gonna listen to somebody, let them show you some real proof. Oh yeah, you can still get it if you get that, and you can still pass it on. But it's the people that don't get it that's passing it around. Which y'all got to make up your goddamn mind here. Which one is it? But hey, go get it. Go get y'all deworming certificates if you want to. But I still remember Tuskegee experiments and stuff like that. And plus, guess what? I believe in the Almighty and the power of my body. It does all the good things for me. As long as I feed it the right nutrients, it does everything. It takes care of it. Hey, y'all do what y'all want. I ain't saying get it or don't get it. But, hey, if you can't see the truth right in front of your face, then you sleeping. You crazy. But like I said, they lied and told you that you were Black, African American, Negro, all of these titles for one reason: to steal your inheritance, to steal your ancestors' land. And if you became aware of it, they have to give it back. They got to give it back. But it's not enough people promoting. They got all these prominent people promote that other BS, Pan-Africanism and all of that stuff. No one ever want to claim where they was born. Listen, I was born here. And I traced my family back to here, all the way back to South Carolina. In other places like Louisiana, but mostly in South Carolina. I ain't from Africa. I don't even think like Africans. Because why? I'm from here. I think like an American. Nothing against those people, but I'm not from there. I'm from here. My roots are here. This is my home. This is the country I was born and raised in. I'm not interested in picking up roots and go living in Africa. And it only makes sense to call me African American. That doesn't even make sense. Because Africa is a continent. So there's countries within Africa: Libya, Ghana, Egypt. Come on, the list goes on. Somalia, all of these places. Africa. What part of Africa? This is like here, I live in America. What part? Central, South, North? And then once I say North, what part of North? Come on. Stop falling for this dumb stuff, this ignorant rants that these people just throw down your throat. Here's the science. Here's this. This is it. This is it. And the people that saying they ain't even scientists themselves. They don't even study this stuff that they're telling you. If you think if news is the only source of information for you, you are in trouble. You got problems. It's like Reverend Ike says, stop believing in other people's gods. All concepts of gods. Government is kind of a god to some people. Whatever. Oh yeah, they say settle it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it to our own detriment. That's how they get people to go up to the slaughter through programming, propaganda. This is for your own good. Come on, go get your dog tag. Go get it. In the interest of saving. See, you got to remember, everything is done backwards. And there's some things I want to say, but I won't say because I'm live. I'll do that in my private class. But, I'm well aware of what's going on. And I clearly see who is truly believe in God and who don't. People who have a form of godly devotion, but proven false to its power. And the only reason why all this stuff going, because people allow it, they believe in it, they talk about it. That's why it's going on. It's so many of us, we can make a change overnight. We can change our situation, but I don't want to do anything. And I keep reminding you that you're not going to save the world. I'm just talking. I'm not trying to save the world, because if you look at all the would-be saviors, they all got crucified somehow. The world always crucified their so-called savior. Look at Malcolm X. Look at Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, your so-called straw man Christ, Jesus Christ. See, when I look at the Christ story, I see a lot of things in it, and I see one thing that stands out. Regardless of the fact that he healed all of those people, did all of this healing, those same people chanted, impale him. So that tells me that people are generally ungrateful, selfish, and they just want what they want. They want their healing, and that's it. They don't want nothing else from you. They don't want to tell you if you want to keep that healing. They don't want if they want to keep that healing, they got to change their thoughts. They got to change their mind, be accountable for their actions. They don't want that. They want somebody to just press a button, fix me. Say a prayer for me. They don't want to do that. See, that's what the example of the Christ story is all about. It's not about he came to save the world. That's the BS they want to tell you. He's showing you, no matter what you do, how good you are to people, they're going to seek to harm you, impale you. Yes, I give good information. It helps a lot of people. But how does it help them? They are accountable, they use it, and it works. My job is to make sure the information is accurate. That's my job. I am only a messenger, just like Jonah in the Bible, right? He got mad because he was trying to, God said, go teach these people, go tell them people what's about to happen if they don't straighten their act up. And he was like, them people ain't gonna listen to me. I'm going over here. I ain't trying to save them folks. No, see, he took on a burden. His job wasn't to get them to believe what he was saying. His job was just simply to deliver the message. Now, what they did with it was up to them. And that's what I'm saying. So many people want to make people believe something. Fight and argue over stuff. This is why we have so many religions today, because someone disagreed about what the text said and said, well, I don't care about you. I'm going to go make my own thing. And that's why we got thousands of religions claiming to be the one and only answer to your salvation. And I'm here to tell you all of them got it wrong. Because the only person that's going to save you, Christ couldn't even save you. Because them same people sought to impale him. No, the only people going to save you is you. You save yourself through your actions, through your belief, in your research, in your studying, and you gaining a close relationship with the God in you, not the God outside of you, not the God up there. They claim floating around, looking on everybody, about to exact judgment if you don't do what he say. Not that God. See, that's another concept, misguided concept of God, or ignorant concept of God. That there's some deity out there looking at everybody, pointing fingers and say, oh, you ain't doing right today? Okay. I got you in my book of life and death here, and I'm going to scratch you off. If you don't get it right, if you don't repent. And we know that the churches, different churches got different teachings, different rules, different this, different that. You could do this, you can't do that. And so who's right or wrong? See, the truth is always in you. And when you look inside, then you will find the truth. When you go inside yourself, there is the truth. When you are following a path that is yours, your beliefs, what you come up with, what you feel is right for yourself. No codependency situation. God, Christ, my Lord and Savior. Oh, listen, people been doing that for years in church, and they still coming out there broke. Spiritually, mentally, physically. Still coming out there doing that. Oh, jumping up and down, and oh, praise the Lord. Oh, running around the church. As soon as they leave there, they're still broken. Why? Because they're looking for a source of strength outside of them, instead of looking for the very strength within them. It's that simple, but yet complicated, because the world this system is set up to distract you from you, to make you believe that something is wrong with you, make you believe that you're broken, make you believe that you need something to fix you. Nothing is wrong with you. The only thing that is wrong is your idea that something is wrong with you. That's what's wrong. But really, nothing is wrong with you. Well, then why do I do these things? And why do I can't seem to hold on to a relationship? Why can't I hold on to any money? Why am I everything's just not going right? And I say, because you're saying that right there, because you just spoke that. You spoke that into existence, that things is not right. Things is wrong. I have bad relationships. You're speaking that over your life instead of speaking, hey, my relationships are great. My money is fine. I'm prosperous. I'm wealthy. I'm a millionaire. Everything I touch becomes good. Everybody I see is good. Instead of creating a world of peace and harmony and love and prosperity in your mind, because that's where it all starts. It all starts in here, in the thoughts. And everything you see outside of you is just a manifestation of what you believe in your mind. Oh, but people are doing all kinds of crazy things. You're not responsible for what people are doing. You're only responsible for yourself. And if you sit there and you pass judgment on people and say they're this and that and the other, then you're creating that life for yourself. You're creating that negativity for yourself. Yes, people will do things you don't agree with. What do is you remove yourself from that, and you don't tolerate certain things into your mental space, your head space. You don't tolerate that without judgment. Hey, I just don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about something else that's more positive. Speak on nothing but good things. And I guarantee you, good would always come to you. Now, am I saying you won't meet up with challenges? Yes, challenges always come to scare you off of your mission, your peaceful mission, your prosperous mission. This thing, because you look at it, oh, this is a problem. You just spoke it. That's a problem. Now is everything coming out of that is going to be a problem. Everything. No, instead of saying, oh, okay, this is a distraction. This is a process. This is here a test for me to see which way I'm going to go, which road I'm going to take. I'm going to take the broad and spacious road down to negativity where everybody's hanging out at, or you're going to take that narrow road of positivity, that tough road to stay on that you can fall off anytime because it's so easy to get off the road, that narrow road of staying positive, thinking positive. That's a very tough road to be on. Why? Because so many people is out there just want to hear bad news. That's why the on YouTube, the biggest channels are the channels that talk about negative stuff. Talk about people who are doing something wrong. Those are the biggest channels. So that tells you what people feed off of. They feed off of people's problems. And they're getting paid for that. And I see some of these channels that say, yeah, well, I got to give the people what they want. At what expense are you giving people what they want? Yes, do I want people to view my channel? But I don't want them to view it at the expense of people's misery. Yes, we could talk about problems all day, but if we're not talking about solutions, then what are we really doing here? We're just feeding into the problem, making it bigger, 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 bigger. More and more and more. No solutions. That brings me to, me and Beth, we're gonna do a segment, a relationship segment. Oh, maybe in the next week, 2 weeks. Going on vacation next week, so it may be a couple of weeks from now. A lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of good stuff, really good stuff. Listen, you got the power to make your life what you want it to be. You have the power to be, if you want to be wealthy, you have the power to be wealthy. If you want to have love in your life, you have the power to do that. But you have to become all of those things that you want. You have to already see it in your mind as if it's already here and walk it out. Let people think you crazy. It's okay. A lot of people thought I was crazy 5 years ago when I started this station 6 years ago. Thought I was crazy. It was just, oh, you still doing that little station? You still doing this? You still doing that? I think it's going on 7 years now. Yes, I'm still doing it. Thank you for your support or your non-support. People that usually ask you that question don't even watch. They just they're asking to see if you failed yet. Isn't that something? And it's usually your family that does that. Isn't that something that people ask you, oh, how's that business doing? Because they really hoping that you failed and you go back to doing what you was doing and you could be just like them, doing nothing, slaving for someone else. And how you deal with situations like that, you keep moving in your purpose, keep promoting yourself, your success, and don't worry about what they're saying. That's how. And then the more you get bigger, then, oh, wow, he made something out of that. But they still won't support. I got family all over the place. They don't support me. There's only a few people that support, mostly people I don't know or I just met support me. From like immediate family. My brother supports me. The music. He's the one who puts the music. He did the music. My brother Paul, he supports. So I got to give him a shout out for that. He provides the music for the show. Yeah, that music right there. Yeah, that's one of them. There's quite a few of them. I like that one. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing that. Lace, that's gonna be interesting. Also, right now, I told you about, helping people with the foreclosures. That's up and running. I don't have it advertised on my website at all. but it will be advertised shortly. So well, we like to get you before you get into the problem. Like if you feel like you can't, you're coming up on, even if you don't have a problem, we have a way to get your houses transferred into your trust, into your, if you want to do an LLC, put it into in a business or anything outside of your name, you can do that. You have a right to do that. But there's some other details you need to know. So I'll advertise that. This kind of helped them, before you get into that problem where they're trying to take your house, you want to have some walls up. And we got it. We doing it. Actually in the process of helping some people now. Remember, Hindsight Radio, Akeem, Church of Infinite Abundance, the Akeem Barber Church. We are just spiritual advisors. I don't claim to be a lawyer, but don't want to be one. I don't claim to be a financial advisor. Don't want to be one. I just want to be a spiritual advisor, and that's what I am. So let's get into this. Let's see what's going on. Man, got a lot of people online. We only got 50. Nice. Thank you. Thanks for the support. We got Demetrius Thomas in the chat room. Study more. He was here early. Karen Israel, as always. Happy Tuesday. Kanan Yusuf Wahid. Love and Light family. Yes. Like that. Let me advertise their words across the screen. Who else is out there? I really appreciate the support by Cash App. Anthony Banks, Peace King to you. Really appreciate that. Really helps pay some of these bills. This stuff costs money. It's not cheap. Yalik L, peace. Falcon L, Chief Lemuel, Great Grand Rising, Slaughter Show. Yes, Knowledge is Power, GJB Thunder. Falcon L. Who else? Ross 77. Who else? Maxim Moore. All right. Who else here? Y'all see your Bay. See King Bay. New York Giants for life. All right. Yeah, I haven't watched sports in so long, man. I'm too busy reading. Up in my knowledge. William Fletcher. Shiki Kasusan. What did you say? Thanks to the good word. Nigel Martin recommended you. Thank you. Thanks to Nigel Martin. Hey, if you want to call in, the number is right there. 563-999-3615. Press the 1 button. We already got a few people on the line. Call in. I'm going to take your call after I read this document about how they stole your identity. See, that was the real identity theft. They need to be locked up for that. They want to get people for identity theft. Yeah, these people out here, so-called settlers, they the real identity thieves. And the government was complicit. Yes. Those local government counties was complicit in stealing your identity and telling you something you're not. And unfortunately, we fell for it. Some of us even wanted it because they were so scared of the backlash, they just accepted it. Let me see. Let me play that a few years ago. It was a movie. These guys needed money to save their farm. And it was about, they robbed these different banks and they were getting caught. And then they was riding and one of the brothers said, "You see all this land? You know how we got all this land?" He said, "Oh, we just came in and warred." And one of the brothers believed that they just warred and took it from me. He said, "No, we didn't. No, we didn't war against them. It was too many." They started fighting amongst each other, and while it was fighting, they didn't even have the strength to stop us from taking the land. That's the true story. We annihilated each other for whatever difference. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't say whether it was petty differences. And you know it's true because we still do it. We fight amongst each other more than people fight against us. Especially on a micro level. Man and woman. The woman of color and the man of color, whatever you want to be, the true American man and the true American woman, who is the dark-skinned man and the dark-skinned woman. That's where the fights are right now. And they use courts, they use the police, lie, and all kind of stuff on each other. That's what we're doing now. That's how we operate now. Seeing each other as enemies. And while we're seeing each other as enemies, they are taking our wealth right from under us. We're not broke people. How can you be the number one consumer in the country and be broke at the same time? That don't work. We just spend our money wrong, unwisely. If we were so broke, why they putting stores in our neighborhoods? They put the liquor stores in there. They put the porn, the cash, the title loan places in your neighborhoods. And you know those places about taking your property and taking your wealth, and taking your property and giving you nothing for it. And they when they put them in, we'll buy your gold. See, they're taking your wealth. You're giving away. Well, they ain't taking it. You're giving it away. Yeah, listen, the way we fix this, we got to, like I tell you, we have to be accountable for our own actions as a people. That's how we fix it. We going to the government for reparations, all that means nothing if you're not going to be accountable. We're looking for some government. Hey, give me this, give me that. No, you already got the wealth. You are the wealth. Other groups of people call y'all black gold. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Get the likes up. Get the likes. Listen, I don't get no more likes. I'm not going to read this article. This mind blower. I need more likes. I got one like up there. Come on now. All right. I'll take a break. If y'all want this information I'm about to read, hit the like button. If we got 49, 48 people on, it should be that many likes. Just like that brother said right there. It's called supported. All right. I'll just keep jibber jabbing before I pull up this document showing you how they deliberately took your titles and changed them. Mm-hmm. Hit the likes, babe. Let me see. On my other computer. Oh, okay, we got. It says 35 likes. Okay, up on my screen, it doesn't really give me accurate numbers. I guess I could get more. Come on. I guess I can go in. It says 35. All right. Okay. All right. I was looking at this one on the screen. It said 1. I was like, what? Are you serious? All right, let's go. Let's pull it up. Turn the music down. While I'm doing that, turn the music down. Here we go.
Stay right there. Stay right there. You're listening to Hindsight Radio.
All right, there it is. There it is. Let me take that off the screen, that little banner. All right. Let's read it. So this is 114th Congress, First Session, Senate, calendar number 221, report 114-141. Thomasina E. Jordan, Indian Tribes of Virginia, Federal Recognition Act of 2015, September 10th, 2015, ordered to be printed. Excuse me. Let me take a little drink. All right. It says, Mr. Barrasso from the Committee on Indian Affairs submitted the following report together with additional views to accompany Senate 465. The Committee on Indian Affairs, to which was referred the bill, to extend federal recognition to the Chickahominy Indian Tribe, the Chickahominy Indian Tribe Eastern Division, the Upper Mattapony Tribe, the Rappahannock Tribe, Inc., the Monacan Indian Nation, and the Nasamand Indian Tribe, having considered the same, reports favorably thereon without amendment and recommends that the bill do pass. Purpose. The purpose of Senate 465 is to provide federal recognition to 6 tribes in the Commonwealth of Virginia: the Chickahominy Indian Tribe, the Chickahominy Indian Tribe Eastern Division, the Upper Mattapony Tribe, the Rappahannock Tribe, Inc., the Monacan Indian Nation, and the Nasamand Indian Tribe, and make applicable to these groups, their members, all laws that are generally applicable to American Indians and federally recognized Indian tribes. Need for legislation. Although there is a federal regulatory process by which an Indian group may obtain federal recognition described below, the ability of a group to meet the regulatory requirements is highly dependent upon the availability of documentary evidence and records. The 6 Virginia tribal groups proposed for recognition in Senate 465 maintain that the unique history of the Commonwealth of Virginia and its relations with these groups prevents the tribes from being able to meet the level of documentary evidence required by the Department of Interior Department. Many of the courthouses that house records and documents related to these tribal groups burned during the Civil War, making records up to the late 1800s difficult to find. Additionally, through the Racial Integrity Act of 1924, the Commonwealth of Virginia required all segments of the population to be registered at birth in one of 2 categories: white or colored. The colored category was mandated. You see that word, mandated? You hear that a lot lately. For all persons determined to be non-white, regardless of race or ethnicity. Officials from the state's Bureau of Vital Statistics interpreted the law as allowing them to retroactively change a person's birth certificate to the colored category if they believed there was evidence that the person was not fully white. So they came up with this, and then they went back retroactively. What does retroactive mean? Retroactive mean, I'll read that. Hang on. So for someone who may not know, and I know what it means. It means taking effect from a date in the past. Latin, senatio. So they went back and reclassified the indigenous people, the American Indian, the Native Americans, all as colored. So if they did, and they see what they did, they looked at the person and said this. So of course, guess what? Who would end up getting caught up in that false narrative or that false classification? Someone that is of my complexion, most likely, when they're trying to make everything lily white. So this shows you that the American Indians, Native Americans, were dark people as well. Peace, Beth. This shows you that. Because they're looking and they're going to identify, that person's colored. That person's Negro. You see? This is bona fide evidence that If they weren't fully white, they was labeling them something else, right? Just showing you that you guys are not from Africa. Y'all from right here. This is your land. You've always been here. Your people's always been here. And everybody know when I was living in New York, I had relatives down south that had some land. Or called air property that passed down through generations. How did they get that if they were slaves? Have you ever asked that question? We're not that many generations out of so-called slavery. 1865 really wasn't that long ago when you look at the grand scheme of things. All you need is a couple of grandmas back or grandfathers, and you're there. But somehow they got land. I know my family had over 30-something acres of land. My daughter, her family on her mother's side got over 30-something acre land that's been in that land in their family for generations. And then when I was working in rural part of South Carolina, all of these people had land. Eastover South Carolina is predominantly dark-skinned people, and all of them have multiple acres of land out there. Prominent names like the Scots. What's the other names? Goodness gracious. It's on the tip of my tongue. But it was names, and all of them had acres of land. And what's the sad part about that is a lot of these people just put trailers on these land, and that's all they want. They don't want to do nothing else. They don't want to, do something with this land, make it more. I'm not saying sell it. I'm just saying make it more than what it is. Just putting a little trailer on there. But they're so programmed in their thinking that they just keep that craziness going. Now, Eastover, South Carolina is a small town, right? And every Friday, every Thursday? Every Thursday, they close all of the businesses early because that's the day that they traded slaves. Now, this is a predominantly dark town, what we would classify as a black town, but they're closing early for slavery trading. That was a tradition. That's why they closed on Thursdays for trading slaves. Now, here's my problem with that. If the narrative is that it was all we were the slaves, but this town remains a so-called black town, maybe it was black people trading slaves, and it was their tradition. Because I said, man, these people crazy. They practicing this and I was thinking white people had black people slaves. No, but when you look around, all of the land around there is owned by indigenous folks. Now, I lit up Eastover, South Carolina with satellite. That's where I got my start. I had a barbershop out there because my father was worked out there in rural route post office. And so I've been pretty much in every inch of Eastover, South Carolina. Very rural part of the country. And they didn't have cable going to every house, so they needed satellite. So that's what I was selling. I had probably, me and my buddy counted the amount of satellites. That one summer, we probably put in over 6,000 satellites. We count one day, we just stopped and counted. And we got tired of counting. See, back then I was still asleep and I wasn't picking up and making these connections. They got a bank out there. I'm telling y'all, this land was always ours. And a lot of us still have it. The problem is the one that still have control of it is so asleep that they're not doing what they should do with this land. But let me keep reading this thing. Roundtree Helen C. PhD, A Brief History of the Six Indian Tribes Requesting Federal Acknowledgement. Legislative hearing on Senate 724, Little Shell Tribe of Chippewa Indians Restoration Act of 2007, 514 Muskogee Nation of Florida Federal Recognition Act, 1058 Grand Rivers Bands of Ottawa Indians of Michigan Referral Act, In H.R. 1294, Thomasini E. Jordan Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act of 2007 before the Senate Committee of Indian Affairs. 110th Congress, 2008, Statement of Timothy M. Kane, Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Now, they just have Florida, Michigan. Come on. While the primary target of Racial Integrity Act of 1924 was the African American community, some saw the Virginia Indian community as a threat because as long as a person had not more than 1/16 Indian blood quantum, the Racial Integrity Act of 1924 allowed persons of white and Virginia Indian ancestry to be classified as white. Supporters of the law, including Dr. Walter Plecker, we know who he is. He was a eugenicist or something like that. Read up on him. The registrar for Virginia's Bureau of Vital Statistics saw this exception for the Indians as an opportunity for persons of mixed heritage to move from the colored category to the white category. Officials from the State Bureau of Vital Statistics actively sought to denigrate persons of Virginia Indian descent and deny them the right to identify as Indians or white, instead of forcing them to be declared colored. So they had an option to become white. So I would say some of them did become white. And a lot of them became colored. And guess which one became white? The ones that had the light skin. Let's keep moving. To extend federal recognition to the Chickahominy tribe, the Chickahominy Indian tribe, Eastern Division, the Upper Mattapony tribe, the Rappahannock tribe, Inc., the Monacan tribe, the Nasaman tribe, before the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs, 107th Congress, 274-76 and 111-116, 2002, Statement of Danielle Moretti Langholtz, PhD, American Indian Resource Center Coordinator. Section 5 of 1924 Racial Integrity Act, legislative hearing on Senate 724, 514, 1058, and H.R. 1294 before the Committee on Indian Affairs, 110th Congress, 2008, Statement of Timothy M. Kane, Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. The Racial Integrity Act of 1924 remained in effect until 1967, when the United States Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional in Loving versus Virginia, 388 U.S. 1. In 1997, Virginia Governor George Allen signed into law a bill allowing Virginia Indians to correct their birth records. However, the 6 Virginia tribes proposed for recognition in Senate 465 contend that the existence of the law for several decades makes it unlikely that adequate documentation exists to meet the department regulations governing acknowledgments of Indian groups. So what they're saying is, you can do it, but here's what you got to do it. So they put all of these hurdles in their way so that they couldn't do it. Like right now, I was talking to someone who's from a tribe, looked like they're from a tribe. You could tell, dark though, right? But they don't know how to claim it because they can't go get the records. They burned these records down around the country. They did this purposely. All these mysterious fires that happened around these times. Not only did they steal your land, they stole your name. How did they steal your name? I can't prove this, but I can tell you if you just look, it's in plain sight. I say this all the time. You got George Washington, first president of the United States, but they have his birthday. I never see people coming forward saying that they're his ancestors, white folks. Oh, I'm related to this man. Never see this. But when I was going to school up in New York, only people I ever knew that was a Washington were people of my complexion. So it's just like now they tell you stuff. Oh, it's these people that's causing the problems, not these people. But at the same time, them same people are catching the same things. I'm talking in code right now. They just tell you, nah, yeah, they had the slaves and you took on their name. That's how you became Washington. What? Really. The evidence shows that only people I know with the last name Washington look like me. I don't remember anybody coming forward. Hey, yeah, that's my great grandfather. Yeah, I'm glad and proud that he was the first president of this United States. When have you seen that? When? Right? They might do it now since they changing passport applications now. Since I'm telling y'all the truth, they go and changing stuff. They might have somebody come out and say that after I said that. All right. Let me go down. Let me go to the background. History of federally recognizing Indian tribes. The act of federally recognizing the Indian tribe is highly significant. It is an affirmation by the United States of the existence of a formal government to government relationship between the United States and the tribe. So it is so important to keep you where you at, because once you are recognized or once you are part of a tribe, you are of a different government. Therefore, you're not in their jurisdiction. Remember, Constitution say Indian not taxed. Once federally recognized, a tribe and its members have access to federal benefits and programs, and the tribal government incurs a formal responsibility to its members as the primary governing body of the community. Before Congress ended the practice of treaty making with Indian tribes in 1871, treaties were the usual manner of recognizing a government-to-government relationship between the United States and an Indian tribe. Since the conclusion of this practice, the United States has recognized Indian tribes by legislation, executive orders, and administrative decisions. Additionally, federal courts may clarify the status of an Indian group. In order to provide a uniform and consistent process by which an Indian tribe may be federally recognized, the Department of Interior developed an administrative process in 1978 to allow Indian groups to petition for formal acknowledgement of a government-to-government relationship with the United States. Standards and procedures for the process were set forth in Part 83 of Title 25 of the Code of Federal Regulations. Y'all better go read that. Part 83 or the Federal Acknowledgement Process. These regulations, as amended in 1994, required a petitioner to satisfy 7 mandatory requirements, including the petitioner has been identified as an American Indian entity on a substantially continuous basis since 1900. A predominant portion of the petitioning group comprises a distinct community and has existed as a community from historical times until the present. The petitioner has maintained political influence or authority over its members as an autonomous entity from historical times to the present. The group must provide a copy of its present governing documents and membership criteria. The petitioner's membership consists of individuals who descend from a historical Indian tribe or from historical Indian tribes which combined and functioned as a single autonomous political entity. The membership of the petitioning group is composed principally of persons who are not members of an acknowledged North American tribe and do not maintain a bilateral political relationship with the acknowledged tribe, and neither the petition nor its members are the subject of congressional legislation that's expressly terminated or forbidden the federal relationship. So it's showing you how to do this. And well, Akeem, how do we, we're not, how do we, we can't do this. Why? But it just said it. A predominant portion of petitioning group comprises a distinct community and has existed as a community from historical times until the present. I think that represents every ghetto in the country. You have been operating as a distinct group, but you've been calling yourself something you are not. Why do I say a distinct group? Don't they treat your group differently? Police it differently? You are treated as a distinct group. Now it's time to claim it as a distinct group properly. Stop calling yourself black, colored, African American, all of that other nonsense. Here's the requirements right here. from this day forward, start, hey, this is who we are. And I'll guarantee you start digging in, you will find your connection to any one of these historically recognized distinct groups. You will do it. History of changes made to the Department's Part 83 regulations. The federal acknowledgement process has been criticized as broken for decades. Nonetheless, until the Department's recent effort to reform Part 83 discussed below, there have been only a handful of changes made to the federal acknowledgement process since its inception. It's been criticized because there's so many things they want, and it's all set up to keep you from claiming who you really are. So you're going to have to do this on an individual level. You're going to have to claim who you are on your paperwork, get that passport updated, or if you don't have one, go get it and claim it on the passport, like I've been showing y'all for the last couple of years. Here's some complaints. Complaints about the Department's federal acknowledgement process have centered primarily on the high cost of gathering documentary evidence to meet the 7 mandatory criteria, the length of time it takes the Department to review a petition, and the Department's inconsistent application of the listed criteria. Of the 567 tribes that have been federally recognized, only 18 have acknowledged through the Part 83 process. I can promise you, I can guarantee you, I can go find these rules. Yeah, they got 7 rules, but there's always a loophole. I just got to go read it. Now it's time for me to read it. This is where my focus is right now. Since they pissed me off and they changed that daggone DS11, I said, okay, y'all want to play this game? All right. Ancestors got me motivated. I'm going to read this because it's always a statement that says, okay, if you can't do this, then do this. Watch. All right. And here you see all of these tribes: Arizona, Maine, Oregon, Connecticut, Michigan. Let's see, anything else? I think y'all got the point. Y'all should read this. Let me give you a link. I'll give you the link. I'm going to put it in the chat so y'all can read this. It's got a lot of good information, a lot of stuff you need to read because, you know, they referenced different acts, and you will need to go read all of those acts and decipher that stuff. But I'm going to go in on this myself. All right. I'm already reading some other stuff. But anyway, there you have it. They switched your identity out just by on site. They looked at you and said, you this, you that. And you being the children, you didn't know any better. But now you know. What you going to do about it? You going to still let them call you these things? Black, African American, and colored? Those are curse words to me. Just like U.S. citizen. That's a curse word. I'm not a U.S. I'm American national. American national, but not a citizen of the United States. That's who I am. All right. Oh, we got 49. I like that. We got 49 likes. Thank you. Let's see what's out there. We got people on the phone lines. Hold on. Got a few people. I switched out by accident. Let's get some calls, see what they think. All right, let's try to stay on topic. I'll take some questions, but I don't know the far left conversations. Let's keep that for somebody else's show. 917-832.
Peace.
Peace. What's up?
Peace. So I'm reading along what you hear from the article which you just referenced. And in using this article, I'm from New York too, so it's like, I go back many generations here,
Right.
federal,
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this is one way to, identify, up here it's Algonquin, you got Allegheny,
You mean
Indians up here.
Algonquin?
Oh, Algonquin. I don't pronounce it well. So.
Y'all, all of them up there. Seneca. Shoot, just name a state. It's name us one of the cities and towns. That's the tribe. Connecticut, all that.
Right, exactly, because the land is named after the people.
Yes.
Who were originally there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I could use this in my claim as well, right?
Yes, you can use it as your claim, but what I would do is dig in and find who you connection to and see if they're already federally recognized. And then go after that.
I already have that federal recognition. Then
right. Most of y'all already have the federal recognition. Just got to make the connection. That's it. Yeah, see, the problem with them burning down those records and stuff like that, that's what makes it difficult. But you dig deep enough, you'll find it.
I think that's also what they're doing now in the Northwest and in the Southwest with these wildfires. They're doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah. They got fires everywhere in different countries. They got fires going on. Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing Hitler did during World War II. He started to burn the records, burn the books, burn the lineage. If you couldn't identify, like you said, and someone, so-called the victor of the war, the battle, will classify you as so-and-so and such and such, they'll tell his story. The victor would tell, the so-called victor would tell his story. And people are purported to believe that, but you got to read and know that that's not true.
Right.
And how to reclaim that.
Yep. Listen, the biggest thing is just claiming it. Make the claim and let them prove that you're not, and they can't. That's why it's so easy. The way I do it, so easy to get your passport, because no one can refute or tell you who you are. You determine that. You control that. And they know who you are. They some of them are happy you're claiming it. They have more respect for you.
That's true. That's certainly true, because they damn sure don't know what the hell they doing.
Yep.
Damn sure don't know what the hell they doing. And they got governors left and right getting impeached and thrown out of offices that we're supposed to be in, facilitating our own government.
Right. It said government to government. Once you get attached to one, you can create one yourself, distinct community. That's what it said, right? Since a certain time. All of us can show our distinct community way back. And we already know they've been messing with the records. So it will take time, but I don't think it's too difficult. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, my boy before the pandemic, right? He was able to go down and he got 3 other great seals. I think it's 7 seals altogether, if I'm not mistaken. But he has 3 of them. Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I got to keep moving. People got their hands up. You got anything else to say?
Nah, grace and peace, brother. Thank you.
All right, peace. Thank you. Thank you for the information. All right, let's go to 786-855. 786-855. You are live. Got to come back to him. Press 1 if you want to go live on the air with me now, press 1. And numbers 563-999-3615. Press the 1 button. All right. Let's go. 253-476. 253.
Peace to the God.
Hey, peace to the God. What's going on?
Yeah, I wanted to ask a couple questions, but I'm just going to go ahead and make a consultation with you.
Okay.
I need to share with you that I've been following you for 6 years, and I think that you have come a long ways. Your light is shining really, really bright. You need to know that.
Thank you.
Furthermore, you're going, from what I see and from what I feel, you're going to pass all of your teachers.
I appreciate you saying that.
You are very respectful. You don't require a person to pay their money, and that you just call them when you feel like it. You have a calendar on your site. When someone knows when they pay their money, they knows when they're going to have a consultation with you.
Right.
You are a very respectful teacher, and you're going to go a long ways in life. I just want to share that with you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. What else you got? All right. Okay. Peace.
That's it.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Who else? Press the 1. Only if y'all got something to say. I'm telling y'all who y'all really are. Y'all don't want to ask no questions about that. Who you really are. Y'all want me to really go in on it? Huh? Let's see. Yeah, I put the link in the chat already for you. Let's see. Hold on. Hey, y'all better get y'all stuff in now because I'm going on a vacation next week. So the schedule is already blocked off. We out for, let's see, there's something else I think I want to talk about. Just a little side note. What's this? This is something else. This is something I'm going to show y'all here. This is how they programming y'all thinking y'all was colored. Here it is right here. This is in the Library of Congress. They called it Colored American. They came out with papers like this. And it was people like us who did this. I'm trying to manipulate this thing better. And Chronicling America, Historic American Newspaper, Library of Congress. This is the propaganda. This is how y'all became colored through stuff like that. Let me see if I could change the pages. These are all indigenous people, right? Let me see. We'll do all pages. There's all the pages. Notice there's a what we call we think as an Indian. These are articles. You should go read them. See how our sisters was back there doing their thing on fortune telling and stuff like that. We did all that. We were doing that. They try to say the gypsies and stuff. Nah, they picked up on our stuff. Let me see. I'm just going through my archives now. This is how they got y'all to believe y'all were colored through stuff like this. Let's see. Let me stop. I'm just waiting for somebody to put their hand up. Oh, we got some more. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something. Then I'll get those people on the line. I'm coming to y'all. Where's my bookmarks? Bookmark. All right. Oh. 1899. All right, let's see this one. Here's another excerpt for that paper. And the truth is in there. You read this thing and you'll start to see the truth. This is how they program into believing that you were colored. This is the start of it. I'll put this in the chat for y'all. All right. Let's go to the phone line. All right. It's 330-734. Peace.
Hey, Shalom. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
All right. Doing good enough.
What'd you say? You doing what?
Good enough.
Good enough? Okay.
Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect, right?
See, you speaking that, not me. Everything's perfect, baby. Know why it's perfect? Because it happened the way it happened. It's perfect.
There you go.
There you go. All right, go ahead. What you got?
Congratulations. I used to listen to Jonah Bay here and there, and then I remember the video he introduced you, and then you eventually took over everything. So I want to say congratulations.
I wouldn't say I took over everything. I mean, Hindsight Radio was always mine since 2012.
Me, I'm just a part-time, less than part-time viewer. You know.
I got you.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. You know, from the looks of it, it looks like that. But you know, it was I put it like this: the time we worked together was good, for the most part. Then you know, things happen when you don't work with a person. There's no need to beat up on them, though. We don't have to do that.
I don't have anything against him. I don't have anything against you. There's plenty of YouTubers that came out with information. Some of it held up, some of it didn't.
Yeah, and, right. I would agree with that for sure.
The information that actually held up is kind of surprising. You know, I don't want to get into it too deep, but Jonah made something pretty. He made a point pretty big about the Minnesota 220.
The birth certificate, yeah.
Well, everything about the 220. You know, and then you ever see the video by The Power of Offense?
No. That's you talking about Keith, who used to be with us. He was one of our first one of our first hosts. He came in back in 2015. He stayed around. He only for a few months he was with us. Yeah, I remember that. I know who you're talking about.
These are the most critical videos I've ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What made it so critical?
Because finding out the birth certificate bond, authenticating the birth certificate, finding out that the Secretary of State is your guardian. Mm. Yeah, those guys kind of broke the egg, and it revealed everybody that preached against the Minnesota 220 rule was either a fraudulent guru or they were a baby Freemason, and they were lying to the people from the start.
Well, it could be that they didn't understand it either.
Everybody likes to quarterback, especially after the game's over.
Mm-hmm.
I just say it like that. Like I'm a person that puts people out there. I'm not going to do that to your audience. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the community that was arguing openly about Minnesota Rule 220. When we understand Minnesota Rule 220 and the idea that we are indigenous to this land and our inheritance from our fathers have been stripped from us,
mm-hmm.
it leads me to believe that somewhere in there is the path to the direction of actually a federal lawsuit, because the Fed messed themselves up when they put assumption on the books. So as long as they assume our identity, there is an opening.
Here it is. This is how they do it. They put out a definition. They say what it means, and we made the assumption that it was us. So we got to take responsibility.
Very true.
Right. They have the definition, and then we say, okay, they put it out there. That's like with the application. Are you a U.S. citizen? Yes or no? Because you've been programmed to think one way, you check off U.S. citizen. You're not.
No, this also goes to a lawsuit. No, you were taught in 10th grade or 11th grade by a white man teaching you were black. He associated it. He told you openly, color, this is not about. Yet when you file that, it seems to be about class. Okay? And he doesn't explain it's about class. Again, when I figure out how to word this federal lawsuit, I'm throwing my high school in because it's under federal instruction, meaning they tell them what to teach me.
Right.
The high school didn't go to your birth certificate system and say, hey, we want to teach the children to sign up for Social Security.
Now you got to remember, okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
You could bring I wouldn't bring the actual school. I would bring the school board, the one that regulates what the school does. Because see, the schools, once you get to the school level, they don't have any control on what's being taught. It's the board of directors over the school district, the dean of schools, that say these are the books that we're going to use for this district. They control that.
Oh, yeah.
So you would have to go to the top of that if you want to bring a claim like that. You got to go to the actual person who's perpetrating and saying this is what's required. And in the state, the county, you would have to go to that county and go to them, because they're the ones who's in control of that. Because what is a school under? Every school is under a county, right?
Yeah.
So where's the real control at? The county. That's a sub-political subdivision of the state. And then the birth certificates are handled by who? The county.
County.
Right. So there's your culprit there.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
All right, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All
right, let's move on. The birth certificate is very important to understanding this process as far as Minnesota Rule 220, authenticating the birth certificate and all of that. It is. 214-293. 214-293. Peace.
Oh, that's me. Hey, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you. Peace to the guys. Man.
Peace to God. What's going on?
I wanted to ask, when you're reading that document there, and in there, if you were to put the claim in, how would you do it? Would you do it through UCC1 or just like?
No, I wouldn't do no UCC1. Why would I do that? If I'm going to put a claim, it would be an official claim. First, I would go to where they say go to make the claim. And then when I get refused, once I do that process and I'm getting meeting walls with that, then I go to the next level, and that would be to court. See, everybody wants to jump to a court process, but you got to give them fair warning first. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And then once, okay, you're not giving me what I need. Now I go and take you to sue. Or I might even do a writ of mandamus or something like that. Oh, there's a lot of ways you can go at it without actually going into an actual lawsuit. Now, here's the problem with a lawsuit is getting the judge to side with you when it's a political strategy to keep you where you are. So courts don't like setting precedents like that. But what can happen is you can do it behind closed doors.
Got you. Private.
Right.
Okay.
Everything I'm teaching y'all how to
Cool.
do is behind closed doors, so to speak. Yeah, go correct the driver's license, but that's on an individual basis. No one sees your records but them.
Right.
You know, we're not on the side of the road making a scene. We go straight. Okay, we just go here. This is me. I need y'all to just put this on the record in these documents, along with that. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
No harm, no foul.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your time, man. Yeah, because I was sitting here just wondering, okay, how do I put them on notice? You know, how do I let them know? You know, from their words. Mm-hmm. You know, these are their words, so they already know who I am. So, you know, I'm like, am I having to prove? I don't have to prove that to them. I just got to put them on notice.
Yep.
Peace to God.
All right, peace.
All right,
peace, brother.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you.
One.
All right, let's go to the next caller.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio.
All right, who's the next caller? Is 813-564.
Peace to the God. King, how you doing,
Peace to God. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful myself, man.
All right.
I need some spiritual guidance today, man. I got a little issue. That ain't an issue. It's just a little. I need some help with a procedure, some court procedure.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I served my baby mama, and they came back and they said she don't stay at that house no more. Mm-hmm. So that was the only address I have. Now, what's my next
move? Is you would go to the court and say she doesn't live there, because you can after you try to serve so many times, you have a way where you can file it in some way she can be considered served. There's a procedure. Read the procedures on process of service for that county. It'll tell you what you can do.
I kind of did. That's why I was kind of confused. I was a little confused on it. I got to set up a conversation, but you can let it go out of town, man. You can let it go on vacation.
Yeah.
So.
You have to go in, and there's a way to do an affidavit. I tried to serve it. You did due diligence, and then they move forward. But you want to try to get her served. You don't know where she live now?
No, I don't know where she live at.
Oh, I'm sure you know somebody that know her.
I used to know one dude, but he passed away like a month ago, man. He used to mess with my auntie, but he passed away. My auntie had been passed away, you know. That was it, man. That was the only dude I knew.
Yeah, tell him, go to the court and just ask him, hey, I'm having trouble serving her because she don't live at this address anymore. What's my options if she can't be served like this?
Yeah, I asked him that. They were talking about I need to go take legal advice and all that. I was talking to the clerk on the phone, of course.
That's not so much legal advice. The clerk, they got rules that I've seen it where that's why every time they try to serve someone and they don't serve you, they record an affidavit. I tried to serve on this date, no one was home, or they'll put a notation and they'll keep doing that. And then what they'll do is go to the court to seek an order to, I forgot what they do, where you don't have to serve her, just mail it to the last known address and that's it. And that'd be considered service.
Okay, so cause they definitely put the affidavit in on non-service. They couldn't serve her because she wasn't.
Right. That's what they do. They let you know that it was non-service. She wasn't there. And ask the process server. They know that. The one that you hired to do it.
Sure, the sheriff. I went through the sheriff.
Oh, you went to the sheriff. Ask them. Say, hey, what happens if she can't be served? How did that go where somebody can't give you legal advice? That's not so much legal advice. They tell you that's just the rules of the court, how they operate.
That's how I kind of felt when I asked her. I'm like, it's really not legal advice. I'm just asking what's my next. What do I do next? You know, if she can't be served, I'm just actually.
Right.
He's like, well, you need to call legal services to actually them, you know, and you can. Like,
they know how to tell you, hey, okay, well, if this happened, this is the other option. They can tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know there's a way if you can't serve them, there's a process where they'll get permission to just the clerk mail it to the last known address, and that's considered served. Something like I can't remember. It was I read this. It was so long ago. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go read it in the civil practice. I'm gonna see what's going on.
Actually,
when you coming back? You going out next week?
I'll be back next Friday. Oh,
next Friday.
Yeah. Oh.
Did you put those documents in the YouTube chat or the blog talk chat? But I was traveling. I couldn't get to neither one of them.
I just put them in there on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I better get to them. Yeah, because I have to call wife and tell her to log in the blog talk. We put them in blog talk.
It's not in blog talk. It's on YouTube.
Okay. All right. All right, brother, man. I appreciate it, man. Enjoy your vacation. You coming to Florida? Come get some of this heat, man.
That's where I'm going. That's where I will be.
Come get some. It's like
Orlando.
It was 97 degrees today, man.
Yeah, I know.
It was bring a tank top and some shorts.
Yeah, well, that's all you can wear out in Florida. Y'all hot out there.
Hey, bring something that's natural for the mosquitoes at night too, man.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, King. Peace.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to read what he's looking for. So what happens when a person cannot be served? If you don't show up to court, it says, although you may think that avoiding process is a good way to keep a lawsuit from happening, no matter how hard you try, you can't avoid the suit. You don't show up to court. So therefore, after a processor makes multiple attempts to complete service of process in person and fails, they can send legal documents through the U.S. Postal Service. Service process can be completed via certified mail as long as the process server can provide proof that the papers were mailed and you reside at the address. Posting on the door of your residence. If in person, there's a little link. I'll put that in there and you just read that. They have ways around it that they can mail it, certified mail. And it said, notice in local newspaper, attempted to reach you, failed. Complete. See, some states allow substitute service. Typically, substitute service is sought after other avenues to complete service. The process have been proven unsuccessful. When substitute service is authorized, the process server will be allowed to simply leave the legal documents with the relative or roommate at the address. So yeah, they can do that. There's ways around that. All right, let's go to the next caller. 516-322.
Yeah,
516-322. Peace. What's going on?
Where am I at here? Yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, you're definitely correct in they done stole our property.
Some of them stole it, some of them just gave it up, bro. Voluntarily.
Yeah, well, some of them just gave it up.
I ain't gonna say they just stole it because we were too big out there. We too many of us. We just kind of acquiesce like we're doing now.
Well, they also set the conditions, whereas you were scared to claim that you were an Indian.
Yeah, but that's after we gave up the power. That was after we warred against each other. Then we were powerless. Then we was intimidated. So it all started somewhere. We got to take some responsibility for how we ended up. You know.
Very true. Very true. Very, very true. But there's always a way to get back what is yours.
Yep. It is.
And I myself, I don't believe you're going to be able to do it under their laws because, they can interpret their laws how they choose to.
Yep.
You have to go under common law.
Okay, what is common law?
Common law is basically what they use to usurp your name. Now in America, they try to say that common law is said and done. But that's impossible for common law to be said and done. Let me just look up the proper terminology for common law.
Common law is a body of unwritten laws based on legal precedents and will often guide court judgments and rulings when the outcome cannot be determined. So common law, like you have a common law of marriage. So they accept that as common law. Why? Because you just cohabitate together and a lot of people do it. That's the precedence.
Right.
You set the precedence like as if you were married so they consider you married. Yeah. So
that was basically the law of the land or the law of the people.
That's common law.
If you're going to say that again,
that what I just said is common law. Law is made by precedence. What is commonly done?
Yes. And that's why they call it common law, because it's the common law of the people, of the majority. That's how they make the cases. But you can bring your case under common law, like you bring it up under civil law. You know, they misrepresent when they bring in traffic tickets under criminal law, but technically that's what it is, because they charge you a ticket. You can bring it up under common law, because just
But see, a lot of people throwing that common law thing around. If I'm going to use the common law, then I need to go find case law to support my claim.
Okay.
Or authorities.
Yes, and trust me, as you know, it's in what you can prove, and it's out there. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. Somebody could put it out there. It was the brother. He was in the car with his kid, and cops came and killed his kid. And he turned around and he held common law court inside the police station. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Well, I wouldn't say he. No, common law court. What he did was he exercised vigilante justice.
He did vigilante.
That's not common law. That's not common law. That's vigilante.
No. Understand what I'm saying.
Revenge.
Understand what I'm saying. What he did was vigilante justice.
Right. It's what we would call street justice.
No. Hear me out. What I'm saying, the process in which he did. This is what common law is.
I just read to you what common law is. Listen, I let you run off and say what you were saying. I was just letting you go on, but I'm gonna stop you right now because I just read to you what it is. What you about to go into is not common law. You're trying to make it something it's not. I just read to you what common law is. It's off of legal precedents. That's why I use the example of marriage, common law marriage. You setting a precedence of being and living with a woman as she's your wife. You set the precedence, so you just have a common law marriage.
Okay.
That's common law.
No.
What's the precedent? Okay. What has been commonly done? Common law.
Okay.
It ain't commonly done that somebody walks into a police station to do street justice. That's not common. That's not precedent. Has it happened in the past? Yeah. Yes. That's not common though.
Yeah. Well, I was more talking about the process and where he got 12 people out of the group that was there, even though they might have been inmates.
He got. What do you mean by he got 12? He killed 12? What did he do?
No. He got 12 individuals and formed his court. He formed a court.
Okay, that is that is what you called a There's another term for it.
That's the common law. That's when you're getting your peers, a group of your peers, and you're deciding what's going on.
That is what you called that's called a constitutional court. That's called a constitutional court.
Constitutional court.
Because you have the jury of your peers. Now, the truth of it, for anyone to be a true jury, they have to be a freeholder, meaning they have to own land free and clear. That was the ancient way it was done. And it was they picked common people to do it. You know, people who, but they had to be freeholders, meaning they couldn't owe any debts. They had to own that land. I did a show on this many years ago.
That's probably where I should have went. That's probably where I should have went to instead of giving that as an example.
What you mean is they got common people who was not biased in any way. That's what he did to render a decision in his favor. That's the way. That's constitutional. That's the way it's supposed to be done. But they don't do none of what they do in the course of the day is strictly by the Constitution. They do it by way of statute. You know, you should, like in most states, all states, just about, your right to trial by jury is inviolate, meaning you can't waive that if you wanted to. You see, so this bench trial stuff that they're doing is not constitutional, but it's all by consent. You accept that, then you get that. Like states like North Carolina will force you into a bench trial, and then you have to go back and do a trial by jury de novo, some fancy Latin word they use. Then you go, but that's statute. But the Constitution, when you read it, says your right to trial by jury is inviolate. You cannot even unilaterally waive that. They can't take, even if you said, I want the bench, they're not supposed to give it to you because it says you have a right, if you've been accused, to have a trial by jury. But you have to challenge that. You have to bring that up. Hey, the Constitution says this. I don't care what you say. What you're saying goes against what this says. You know.
And they do that. They do that all the time because our status isn't correct. But
I wouldn't even say its status is important, but it's because you're not asserting that. You don't have to have your status corrected to say, hey, the Constitution says this versus that. You see, you point that out. This is what it says. And you do that by way of a motion, or even just challenge the constitutionality of the process. There's ways to do it. It's, you just got to know the steps. Like I heard you say in the beginning, well, you're not going to get it done in their system. It is possible to get it done in your system once you know the way the system works and use their rules to your favor. It is.
And use them against them.
Yes.
Yeah, there is. When you correct the jurisdiction, or you let them know that they don't have jurisdiction.
What type of jurisdiction are you talking about?
Okay.
You saying jurisdiction? There's all types of jurisdiction. You got subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction.
Okay, so let me. I'll come
Improper
back to that
venue.
jurisdiction.
Yeah.
What I was referring to on common law, and I'll go with what you were stating. Back in the days, we had what they call a allodial title. So, like you said, you didn't owe any debt. You owed your property free and clear.
Right.
And yes, because you had property, you can hold that common law, and you pull 12 of your peers, and you go on case, on precedence. Now, under common law, you can bring that. What I believe they're doing with the
Hold on, brother. Hold
on.
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying, because you keep throwing that common law word out there.
What they're doing with the Indians and under these treaties, because if it's government versus government, I'm stepping to you as a government.
Yeah, and that.
I don't got to prove.
So that means
I don't have to.
That means
I don't have to.
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
I don't have to prove to you and give you certain documentation because I was here before you were here.
Right. All right. let me say this about coming in as a government. Okay, here's a question. You're gonna come in as a government, how?
I was just
You're just making a statement, okay? So a government a government has a constitution, bylaws, it has members. So if you're coming as a government, you're gonna have to come as a group, and it needs to be organized.
You can, yeah, but you can come as a government, because the government, a county, a municipality, all of them are the same thing as a state.
I got you, brother. Hey, I gotta move on. I gotta move on. I got you. I hear you. All right. Yeah. I mean, some of the things he's saying is okay, but he doesn't have it all together. You know, you're gonna come as a government. I just read, when I read the other thing, it showed you how to, with that government constitution, bylaws, minutes, just like the government here does. They got the Congress, they hold meetings to set laws, right? You got to do the same thing. You can't just say I'm a government. All right, I want to share this with you because somebody said this in the chat, and I actually got the document. How did you become African American? All right, this is the last thing, and I'm getting off. It said the Reverend Jesse Jackson, a South Carolina Cherokee, started and promoted the fake title of African American that has been imposed upon Black Indians indigenous to the Western Hemisphere region. This comes off of a book called The 103 Amazing Facts About the Black Indian of the Western Hemisphere. I don't even like that word, Black Indian. I don't like that. It's a PDF, so I can't share a link. Just type that title in, and you should find this. 103 Amazing Facts About the Black Indian of the Western Hemisphere. There it is. All right, with that being said, hey, appreciate everybody supporting the show. Whether we agreed or disagreed, appreciate you. Appreciate all those who donated through Cash App. And like I said, I'm going to be on vacation. So probably won't have a show next Tuesday. No, we won't. So I'll leave y'all something to, older something. I might try to broadcast, another time during this week. So remember, we got a couple of shows that on this channel. Well, on Blog Talk, we have the Raising Independent Thinking show. We have the Divine Connection show, and we have my show, and plus this other relationship show that we're going to be doing. I'll give you more details about that. But remember, if you really want the insider information, the good information, go to akimel.com and sign up for the membership. There, I have video after video after video after video on there. I showed y'all that last time. All of the classes. I'm going to log in here real quick and just kind of give y'all a preview of what to expect. Courses out of the premium membership curriculum. Let's share this. All right. Chrome tab. Is this it? I think that's it. No, that's not the one, but I think I can show y'all courses. I think that's it. That's not the right screen. All right. Window. This one. All right. There's all the courses. Well, these are classes that I've held so far. Different things on there. QSIP contact information. Passport, like if you get a rejection there's a notice how to answer that. What would your passport look like? A lot of that information is on YouTube. ES11 instructions, and these are different classes that's been held. Got a lot of information in. That's just a little bit of it. Oh, just a little. There you go. All right. Stop that. Thanks. Peace. Safe travels to everybody out there. And peace.
This is Hindsight Radio.
I represent it.
The information station changing the nation. Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio.
I represent it.
The information station changing the nation.